Here we'll talk about the top sirloin. What we have in front of us is actually a two-piece top sirloin butt. And what that means is the packer has actually removed the top sirloin cap from the center cut top sirloin butt. So that's where we get the two-piece from. They've also come in and denuded this cap. We can buy this as a fat-on product or a skin and denuded product. This is actually a denuded product here, so it's basically 100% lean. The center cut top sirloin butt, we've removed the cap like we said from the back side. We've also removed some accessory muscles from the internal surface here, what you may hear called or referred to as a mouse muscle. That's been removed already. So what we're left with is the two-piece top sirloin butt, the top sirloin cap in its denuded form here, and the center cut top sirloin. Prior to portioning, we'll split this top sirloin butt into two pieces, approximately parallel to each other. And the reason we do that is we're going in and trying to hit the heaviest portion of the sciatic nerve here. So if we look at this, we'll see some heavy connective tissue. This is what you would consider gristle in a steak. It's actually the sciatic nerve that runs approximately through the middle of this top sirloin butt. So prior to portioning, we'll split this into two logs, what we consider logs. We'll have on this side is what we may call the tight side. On this side is what we may consider the loose side. We've split this into two portions, what we may consider this tight side and the loose side. These are industry terms that refer to essentially the muscle structure. This side of the top sirloin is firmer in texture versus this side of the sirloin is looser in texture and softer. That's why we may call this the loose side. We can call this the tight side. We've split the top sirloin into our two logs. Now we need to trim it and make the steak-ready subprimals that we've been talking about. Again, heavy connective tissue where the bone was removed, heavy fat on the internal surface. We'll remove all this. Also, any heavy silver skin that may be present, we'll remove that prior to portioning. On the back side, or the fat side of the top sirloin, we'll trim the fat down to a 1/4 of an inch maximum thickness. In splitting the top sirloin, we've exposed the heaviest portion of the sciatic nerve so that can be removed prior to portioning. We'll also come in and trim excessive fat on the internal surface along with any heavy connective tissue or silver skin, and trim the external surface to a maximum of a 1/4 inch of fat. We'll do the same on the other side of the top sirloin here. Now that we've trimmed those particular items, we have a steak-ready subprimal again that we'll begin portioning. On both of these sides, we'll start portioning from this end so that whatever waste material we have is situated towards the end where more of the sciatic may still be present. So again, in portioning, we begin with a face cut to make sure that first steak is square, and we'll portion various sizes of center cut top sirloin steaks from there. Now we'll come and do the same to the tight side. As you can see, the two sides are shaped a little different. And we must consider this when portioning steaks. So now that we have both of those sides portioned, we take a look at the different steaks that we have. This is what we call the tight side. You can see the firmness of the lean versus the loose side here. You can see that this is a little bit softer, a little bit different muscle structure. So that's where we get the terminology tight and loose. Again, looking at the two different steak types we have here, we can see that the tight side steak is firmer in its lean texture than the loose side. Not only is the loose side, the entire steak softer in texture. And the reason we say that, once it's been packaged, when you remove this from the package, it might be even softer and almost begin to separate here. So that's just another thing to be aware of as we handle these steaks coming out of the package. These tight side steaks are going to stay true to form very well, even coming out of the package, whereas these loose side steaks, especially this portion of the steak, may be a little softer and may need a little extra shaping. Let's talk a little bit about the top sirloin cap. As you can see, it's pretty much triangular in shape, which presents some difficulties in portioning. But what we'll do is take off a portion of that edge, and then again, just like the other steaks, we'll take a face cut to make sure that's square, and we'll portion different sizes of steaks from there. Now, we talked earlier that you might consider these cross-cut steaks, and the reason why is the fiber orientation. The fiber is actually running flat to the table here versus the top sirloin steaks where the fiber is running up and down. At this point, this steak, the fibers are running horizontal to the table. So that's why you may consider them a cross-cut steak. It also affects the overall cook time of this product. These cap steaks, you'll notice when you put them on the grill, tend to puff up, probably affect your cook time somewhat.